Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head down to Ayr to the south of Glasgow, home to Scotland's national poet, of course, Robbie Burns, but we're going to visit a brewery who I've never tried anything from, but they are quite highly decorated actually. So we're going to Ayr Brewing Company today and we're having a taste of the Damh Ban, which is a Witbier at 5% and it's a limited edition beer actually. This one was brewed as a special beer for the Kinloch Hotel in Arran, so quite looking forward to trying this one. This is the first time I've even seen one of their bottles of beer actually. I had to go to a store in the Sandgate actually, it was a whisky store mainly, but I had to go to a store in the Sandgate in Ayr when I was down for the football at the weekend with my dad, and we saw some of these beers, so I thought I had to pick them up because you never see the Ayr Brewing Company beers outside of Ayr actually. I think they're mainly a cask brewery, so glad that I finally managed to get a hold of one of these for you, and it's even better because it is a special edition. But anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my future reviews that hopefully I can do from Ayr Brewing Company. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel. The channel uses a whole geography based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beers based on country, city or state, whatever you're interested in. There's also playlists for beers from the different countries, and you can check out my whiskey and sake reviews as well. As always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. Your input and your support to the channel is always hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Ayr Brewing Company. So Ayr Brewing Company was founded back in 2009 by Anthony Valenti and his brother-in-law Paul Rossi, and apparently this was the first microbrewery in Ayr for over 80 years. They actually operate out of the Glen Park Hotel in Ayr, and they started with a 5 BBL brewing kit which produced about 20 to 40 casks of beer per week, and they also bottle a small portion of their beer as well. Like I said, I think this brewery mainly are a cask brewery because it's very difficult to find their beers, even up in Glasgow actually. Glasgow's only about 35 miles away, and I've never ever seen their beers in bottle in some of the bigger bottle shops I've been to in there. But over the past few years they've won quite a few different awards. If you look at their website, they've got a big list of awards actually from different beer festivals and camera and all of this, but they've also been working to increase their capacity as well. But probably the best place you can actually go to try these beers is the Glen Park Hotel in Ayr, because that's where you'll find most of them on tap. So yeah, when I checked out the website they had 5 or 6 different beers all available, different styles, pale ales, IPAs, they had a stout I think as well and a porter too, and also they've got special edition beers like this. So if you get the chance and find yourself in Ayr, quite a pretty town actually if you're visiting from outside of Scotland, but if you find yourself in Ayr, do have a go of some of these Ayr Brewing Company beers. But anyway, that's enough about the brewery for just now. Let's get stuck into this one and see how we get on. So like I told you, this guy is a 5% wit beer. It was brewed originally as a special edition for the Kinloch Hotel in Arran, and the name translates into English from Gaelic of course as the White Stag. It tells you that on the back here in fact. So it says, Damh Ban, the White Stag. Through the mists of time, this proud and majestic creature has roamed the island hills, its ghostly form appearing to only a chosen few. To those fortunate enough to catch a glimpse, there will be good luck and fortune to come to the ruling family of Arran, a sighting heralds only death. Our Damh Ban promises only warm feeling and good character to all who are lucky enough to sample this limited edition. Slàinte mhath. As you would say, cheers in Gaelic. That's what I always say on the channel. But yeah, nicely presented this one. I'll just bring up the camera and let you have a little look at the artwork on this one again. There you can see White Stag in the top corner of course, and this is the Kinloch Hotel over on Arran. Really pretty little island actually off the west coast of Scotland. You can see here's a bit of the data about the beer on the back. It's basically, yeah, don't drink if you're pregnant, all this sort of thing. Plain bottle cap on this one, but very nicely presented. And I do actually have another beer from Ayr Brewing Company that I'll review for you probably when I'm back home from Sweden at Christmas time. So let's get stuck into this one then. So yeah, as you can see, a nice smoky opening on this one as we get it out, and we'll stick it in the glass. Not much in the way of a head coming out of this one. I'll just sugar it up and see what else we can get out of it. But yeah, that's a nice looking beer that actually. Pours a very nice colour. So, as you can see, this beer is poured a really quite bright orangey amber colour. If I put it over to the light there, I'll just bring it forward. There you can see the colour of this. They are really bright almost orange peel colour. There's a half finger of a frothy white head on it, but it's just fading away to be a very thin foamy layer. There's some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass and quite a few ones going up towards the bottom of that head there. So it looks very nice, kind of exactly as you'd expect from a Witbier in fact, but they can have a little bit of variance in the colour. This one's a more orangey colour in comparison to some that can be more sort of golden straw colour actually. So in terms of the aroma with this one, kind of comes across just as you would expect. There's a nice big bready aroma to this. You've got a bit of the wheaty spice on top of that, of course. I'm also getting a little bit of a kind of biscuity character. You know that sort of biscuity syrup thing I always talk about? Reminds me a little bit of McVitie's digestive biscuits actually, this. So I'm picking up a little bit of that. Yeah, definitely. As you sugar it up, that becomes a bit more prominent. So yeah, big bready character, some wheat notes, a bit of spice, that kind of grainy biscuity character I'm talking about, the digestive biscuits, but there's some kind of juicy oranges kind of coming out of this one. It's not quite a lemon citrus that you can get from these beers that's coming out of this one. This one is definitely more a kind of orangey citrus, I would say. It's got a bit of grassy floral character in there as well. So it kind of has everything you'd expect of the Witbier, so take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of this one. I'd say this one is quite a mild aroma. It's definitely more malt forward, which is kind of what you would expect of this beer style, but the really kind of surprising thing for me is that sort of digestive-y biscuit note, but the wheat and the bready character is really prominent as well, as you would expect from the style. So as I say, take a bit of time and enjoy the aroma of this before you get stuck in. That's always a bit of a good experience with beer, and we'll get stuck into this one then. So this one is the Damh Ban from Ayr Brewing Company in Ayr on the west coast of Scotland. Slàinte. Sorry about that guys, I had to restart the video because I swallowed some of the beer down the wrong way. But it's really nice actually. This beer is more about how the flavours kind of blend together. In the middle of the palate you've got a really nice kind of bready malt base to this one. You've got that smooth wheaty character on top of it, which is really nice actually. And yeah, the thing you're going to notice about this is that it's actually really quite light and quite sessionable. Some of these wit beers can be really heavy, and they're the sort of beer that you would only want to drink one of. This one on the other hand is really nice and sessionable. So in the middle of the palate I'm also getting a little bit of that kind of biscuity character that I talked about, but it's a little bit different as in comparison to how it was in the aroma. You've just got a little bit of that grainy character, that grainy biscuity sweetness sitting there in the middle of the palate. The wheaty and white bread character is quite thick and just sits underneath your palate too. It's really nice. It's a very nicely done beer actually. I'm getting a little bit of earthiness in the back corners of my palate as well. As you come further forward you get more of the floral and kind of grassy aspects to the hop on this one, which is really nice. Yeah, it's a really nice beer actually. Behind the front curve of the palate too, there's a little bit of kind of orangey citrus character coming out. There's a bit of sharper lemon to it as well. But overall, the lingering flavours in this beer for me are the wheaty characters. A little bit of a darker wheat that I'm getting out of this one, to be honest with you. A bit of that earthy hop is lying there too, and there's the floral aromaticity just sitting out from the hops in this too. But it's very nice. It's kind of a slightly darker flavour than normal that I'm getting from this one, which is quite interesting. It makes the beer a little bit unique. But like I say, it's a very sessionable beer, this one. Really drinkable actually. So if you're into your wit beers, if you like the flavour of wit beers and you want one that's just a bit lighter and a bit more sessionable, this is one I think you're going to enjoy actually. So do give it a go. So in terms of the mouthfeel of this one, I'd say it's on the lower side of mid-bodied. It's not light-bodied, but it has just a little bit of body that you need from this wit beer style. It's mainly malt forward, as you would expect from the style. It's got a bit of thickness in the middle of the palate from the bread and the wheaty character that's coming out of this one. There's a little bit of dryness from the hops as well, and just a wee bit of juiciness from the fruit. But overall, like I was saying, this is a pretty nice beer. I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink this again, and hopefully they do actually continue to brew it, because I think it's a pretty good beer actually, and if it's only a one-off, it's a little bit of a shame. So I'm glad that I managed to actually get a hold of a bottle of this to review on the channel for you here. So yeah, if you like, as I say, if you like wit beers that are a little bit lighter and more easy drinking, this is one you're going to enjoy. If you like your kind of wheaty character, your wheat beers to have a little bit of floral and earthy hop in there, then I would say this is another one that you're going to enjoy as well. The only thing that's maybe a complaint for me about this beer is that it is a limited edition, because I think as a cask beer it would do really quite well. So it's a shame I won't be able to try it on cask probably, but what can you do? Overall, really quite nice beer. Certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink it again, and hopefully I can get some more beers from Ayr Brewing in the near future, although I do have one which will be reviewed in the next little while, so you can look forward to that. But anyway, as always, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer and your favourite ones from Ayr Brewery in the description below. Always interesting to hear from you guys. So until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Go and check out my social media, but most importantly, go and try some of the beers from Ayr Brewing Company if you do find yourself here in Scotland. Slàinte just now.